Meg was working hard all morning. She decided to have a lunch break and headed to the parking lot. But when Meg approached her car, she faced an unpleasant surprise. Someone had poured blue paint all over the vehicle. Meg found 3 witnesses and questioned them. Lily, the company's designer, said she'd been eating her taco on the office balcony when it happened. The financial director, Chuck, had a long business call with investors. And Sheila, the cleaner, said, "I've been cleaning the toilet all morning." One of the guys is a liar. Can you guess who? Lily. There's an unpacked taco on her desk. Also, her hands are stained with blue paint. Yeah, that's a pretty big clue there. Meg's best friend, Rosie, invited her to a birthday party. In the evening, Meg went to the kitchen and saw Rosie unconscious on the floor. She called the police and they arrived very quickly. There are 5 people in the house. Their names are Peter, Kelly, Dan, Phil, and Donna. Each one is a close friend of Rosie. Officers searched the space and found these 3 numbers on the floor. Rosie wrote them with her lipstick before passing out. After seeing this clue, officers arrested one of the guests. Can you guess who? They arrested Dan. The numbers 12, 4, and 11 correspond to the names of the months December, April, and November. Meg went to the office kitchen to get some coffee. She wanted to add milk to her drink, so she opened the fridge to find it. Meg discovered 4 different milk packages on the shelf, but only one of them is safe to use. Can you guess which one? The first milk is very swollen, which means it has turned sour. A note on the second package says, "Stay away." And the 4th milk is ancient. It expired in 1995. So Meg should choose the 3rd milk, and maybe someone should clean out the office fridge. Nina purchased a pair of shoes and gave Tom a $100 bill. The price of these shoes is $30, but Tom didn't have enough change. So he brought the $100 bill to the neighboring shop and asked his friend Sam to change the bill. Then Tom returned to the shoe shop and gave Nina $70. Nina took the change and the shoes and left. Later that day, Sam brought the $100 banknote back to Tom. He said, "This bill is fake. Give me back my money." Tom had to use his own money to return his debt to Sam. So, how much money did Tom lose? First of all, he lost the $30 shoes. Also, he gave Nina $70. Therefore, he still had $30 from the changed $100 bill. So when Sam asked him to return the money, Tom paid him back those $30 plus $70 from his pocket. So Tom had lost a total of $100. See Tom cry. Billy works as a night watchman at a large bank. One night, he heard strange noises from the bank vault and went to check it out. Unfortunately, inside the vault, he faced 3 criminals. All 3 guys were wearing masks, but Billy noticed an imposter among them right away. Can you see him too? The guy on the right doesn't have gloves. This way, he would have left his fingerprints all over the place. So, he's probably an undercover cop. Bella is a famous blogger. She took this picture during a running contest and posted it in her stories. Her followers commented that one of these guys is playing unfairly. Can you guess which one? The person on the right isn't sweating at all. Something's definitely wrong here. Ryan was hanging out in a cafe with his best friend David. They ordered some food and drinks, and after the meal, Ryan said, "Let's play a game. If you crack my riddle, I'll pay. But if you fail, you'll pay." David agreed. Here's the task. He needs to remove a couple of toothpicks to make this equation correct. Can you help David out? Here's the solution. Ms. Green is a college teacher. One of her instructors, Rosie, has been cheating on tests multiple times. One day, Ms. Green lost her patience and told Rosie, "If you tell me a lie, I will expel you from college. And if you tell me the truth, I'll still expel you." So, what do you say? What can Rosie say to prevent her withdrawal? She should say, "I am telling lies." This phrase will create a paradox because it can't be a lie and truth at the same time. Jane was performing in a singing contest in a famous concert hall. Her singing was very good and she made the judges cry. But suddenly, all the lights went down. Someone turned off the electricity in the entire building. The contest manager questioned 3 suspects. Jane's rival singer, Tilda, said, "I was visiting a coffee shop on the 7th floor when suddenly it became very dark. I had to use a flashlight on my phone to get out." Sarah, the cleaning lady, said, "I was washing the windows far away from the electrical panels." And Frank, the guard, said, "I'm so sorry, I didn't look at the security cameras because I had a personal emergency call." Who's lying? Tilda. This concert hall doesn't have a 7th floor. Peter landed in a foreign country. He opened a taxi app on his phone to get to his hotel. Unfortunately, the app didn't work. So Peter just went outside, hoping to find a driver. At the parking lot, he noticed 3 free cars. All 3 drivers were eager to give Peter a ride. Which driver should he choose? Look at the first taxi. There's a puddle of oil under this car. Probably not the safest option. As for the third car, it only has 3 wheels. So, Peter should pick the second driver. Alex is an adventurous traveler. One day, he was walking alone in the jungle and got caught in a trap. Now he's hanging on a tree tied upside down. The rope is anchored in the ground. There's a candle burning below the rope. Very soon, the rope will burn away. Also, there's a hungry tiger under the tree waiting for Alex to fall. Now, what would you suggest to help Alex survive in this difficult situation? Alex should sing the happy birthday song. The tiger will blow the candle out to celebrate, and Alex will get a chance to escape. Now, don't complain to me, I just read these off the script. Mia came home from work late at night as usual. She lives with 3 roommates. When Mia entered her bedroom, she noticed someone had stained her favorite carpet. Mia got furious and questioned her roommates. Jessica said, "That's not my fault. I've spent all day chilling in my boyfriend's house." Helen replied, "Today I entered your room only once to bring clean laundry. The carpet was okay." And Fiona said, "I haven't been to your room for ages. I studied in the library all day." Can you guess who stained the carpet? Fiona. Take a look at her hands. The color of her nail polish matches the stains on the carpet perfectly. Will has just moved to San Francisco. He needed an apartment to stay in for at least a year, so he searched online. He found 3 options and liked them all equally. Will went to check out all 3 offers one by one. After that, he found out that 2 of the 3 offers were scams. What about you? Can you see anything suspicious in these advertisements? Take a look at the sign on the second house. It says that this house will be demolished in 2 weeks. But Will was searching for long-term rent. The third apartment is on the 8th floor, but that's impossible because this building only has 7 floors. Therefore, Will should choose the first option. Someone locked Henry in a creepy basement. He looked around and noticed 3 ways out, but all of them were dangerous. The first passage is freezing. Anyone who enters it will turn into ice. The second is guarded by a huge cougar that hasn't eaten for 3 years. And there's a massive fire behind the third door. What passage should Henry choose? The second one. The animal hasn't eaten for 3 years, so it's not dangerous anymore. Kind of shriveled, actually. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.
How good is your visual memory? Can you recognize the brand by just looking at the design of its can? We're about to find out. What do you say? 7-Up, Sprite, or Mountain Dew? Mountain Dew. And what about this green can? That's 7-Up. Can you recognize this beverage? Pepsi, Nestea, or Red Bull? The correct answer is Nestea. Let's take a look at this bold orange can. Can you guess the brand which belongs here? Iron Brew, Fanta, or Lipton? Fanta. What about this blue can? Does it look familiar? Pepsi. Can you recognize the brand behind this red can? Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, or Tab? See this little white stripe? That's Coca-Cola's design. Here's the next can. Sprite, Schweppes, or Nestea? What do you say? This lemon looks so familiar, doesn't it? Sprite. Great job. Shelly wants to go to a party with her classmates. She asks her father's permission, but he says, "No way. You better spend this weekend in the country with your grandparents. They've just moved to a cute new house." Shelly only uses this as an excuse to leave the house. In reality, she goes to the party. When she comes back after the weekend, Shelly's father asks her, "What were you doing at your grandparents' house?" Shelly replies, "I've been mostly studying upstairs." Her father immediately knows that Shelly's lying, but he didn't even call his parents to ask about Shelly's visit. How did he understand? Shelly said she spent her days upstairs, but her parents live in a 1-story house. Bob likes orange, but at the same time, he hates it. Can you explain this mystery? Bob likes orange fruit and hates the orange color, or vice versa. This Friday, Bob returns from a business trip and finds out that his wife, Elle, disappeared. She didn't leave any clues, and all her stuff and her phone are at home. Bob calls the police. They question 4 people that they found her in recent calls. Elle's brother says, "I called her in the morning. 2 days ago, her dentist removed her last wisdom tooth. She felt severe pain and didn't go to work." Bob says, "I've just returned from my business trip. I've been in another state for a week." Elle's coworker says, "She took a day off today, but I'm not sure why." And her dentist says, "Here's an ultrasound scan of Elle's teeth made on Thursday. We're supposed to treat cavities on her wisdom tooth today, but Elle didn't show up. So I called her to postpone our meeting." Who's lying? It's the brother. According to his story, Elle got rid of her wisdom teeth on Wednesday. But this contradicts the dentist's story. Take a closer look at the scan. It was really made on Thursday. Bella sends a selfie to her new boyfriend, and he replies with this weird message. Can you help Bella figure out what's going on? Bella's boyfriend is very modest. This rebus means, too good for me. And now, let's see if you can guess the beverage by emoji. Here's the first rebus. Any ideas? Red Bull. Great job. Let's go ahead and try to crack this code. Chocolate shake. What about this one? Strawberry milkshake. Next rebus, what do you say? Seven Up. Can you guess this beverage? It's easier than it looks. Fruit juice. If you manage to crack the next rebus, you're a genius. That's just Fanta. Let's see if you can crack this mystery. Orange juice, obviously. What about this rebus? Any ideas? Iced coffee. What about this one? The correct answer is Mountain Dew. Someone had put a sleeping curse on Glenda, the richest witch in town. It happened between 8 to 10 p.m. The police find 4 suspects among her closest friends. Jessica, her nephew, is a young witch. She doesn't have magic powers yet. Christina, Glenda's family fortune teller for 30 years. Luke, her cousin, who's in depression because his favorite dog Wanda ran away 2 weeks ago. And finally, Mr. Washington, a lawyer who helps Glenda run her business. The police officer asked them just one question. What were you doing yesterday between 8 to 10 p.m.? Here's what they tell the police. I was in the library learning new spells. I was buying some new tarot decks for my collection. I was walking my dog, Wanda. I was studying some documents in my office. Who is lying? It's Luke. His dog Wanda ran away 2 weeks ago. Kyle's parents are leaving for the weekend. He throws a little party in his family's house and invites 3 people, Tim, Sam, and Mia. The guests arrive and the party begins. At some point, Kyle notices that someone had stolen all the jewelry from his parents' bedroom. Kyle believes it must be one of the guests and questions everyone. Each guest makes 2 statements, 1 truth and 1 lie. Tim says, I wasn't in the house when it happened. I know Mia stole the jewelry. Sam says, Mia's the thief. I saw it. I already have enough jewelry. And finally, Mia says, I didn't steal the jewelry. Tim tells the truth. He wasn't in the house. Who stole the jewelry? If Tim is the thief, both of his statements would have been false. If Mia is the thief, then all of Tim's statements would have been true, which is against the conditions. Therefore, Sam is the thief. Can you recognize this beverage brand? Tropicana. What about this rebus? Can you decode these emojis? Dr. Pepper. Next rebus. Any ideas? That's Lipton. I bet you can crack our next one. Easier said than done, right? That's Nescafe. Let's go ahead and solve this mystery. Cappuccino. What about this rebus? That's Minute Maid. Any idea what this might be? Starbucks. Fiona goes to the supermarket and texts her sister asking what to buy. Instead of giving a clear answer, her sister sends this. Can you guess what she means? She asks Fiona to buy Oreo cookies. Kitty comes to her flower shop early in the morning and finds out that the most expensive lilies had been stolen. She calls the police. The detective arrives at the shop and questions Kitty. Kitty says, I closed the shop at 10 p.m. and went home. The lilies were in the shop when I was leaving. The detective finds 3 suspects and visits their houses. The guard says, I was on duty last night. Perhaps the thief snuck into the shop when I was on another floor. A barista from the neighboring coffee shop says, I closed my shop at 8 p.m. and went home right after that. And the cleaning lady says, I have a severe allergy to lilies. I can't even enter this shop. Who is lying? The cleaning lady. She has a lily among her home plants, so she can't be allergic to this flower. Someone used black magic to turn a billionaire named Frank into an ice cube. Frank's wife, Sophie, calls the police. They need to hurry up to cancel the spell before Frank melts. The detective decides to talk to Sophie first. He asks, What happened? Sophie replies, I don't know. He was on the phone all day. I was upstairs and I only heard some mumbling. The detective searches the crime scene and finds a note. There's a weird number combination on this note. The detective takes out his phone, calls his office, and says, I've solved the case. I know who cursed Frank. What about you? If you decode the numbers in Frank's note, you'll get wife. Therefore, Sophie herself is the Black Witch.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.